What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today, with it being a Friday, we'll be doing my weekly Trading 212 33 stock portfolio update. Now we'll go through what stocks / ETFs I bought this week, my plans on some of the capital I deposited this week also, and finally how my overall portfolio is performing throughout this week and overall. And with all that being said, let's dive right on over to Trading 212. So it's been a fairly busy week overall on this portfolio, and quite a good one as well in comparison to the weeks prior, which saw my overall portfolio fall about 4% over the last month or so. But thankfully this week things started to pick up again, and as it stands we currently have €9,525 in my portfolio. 9,149 of that is invested. Just under 8,000 of that is my own capital, 1,174 is profit, or 14.73%, and we also have €375 in free funds. Now as it stands, that €9,500 equates to, if I just check my phone, about 11,600 USD and about 8,180 GBP. So this week I deposited a further €500 onto my account. We can see here the overall deposits is €503.50. Now that $3.50 was a fee because I wanted to get an instant transfer. Now if I had a bit of patience, I probably wouldn't have to have paid that €3.50. But again, it's quite a small amount of money in the overall aspect of things or scheme of things. So out of that €500, we invested 125 of that this week. 25 of that got 2.36 shares of the iShares Global Clean Energy ETF. Now the purpose here, as always, was the dollar cost average, as the position at the time was down about 8 to 10%, so I'm kind of happy to pick up another 2.3 shares here. Now again, that's nothing crazy, as my overall value in this stock or stake is about €400 or €500 at this stage, so €25 isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things there. But again, that's what I want to do with this ETF, is to slowly drip feed capital in, albeit only 2 or 3 shares at a time, to get a better overall average cost, effectively giving me a bigger profit long term. We then had a very small dividend payout on Caterpillar of 17 cents, and finally we put €100 into Tesla, which finally got us over to 1 full share. I think we have about 1.1 shares now, and that was 1/5 of a share we got for that €100. Now again, we'll have a look later on. Tesla was down a lot. I think it was down nearly 15 to 20% of my portfolio only last week, so I'm kind of very happy to get in at those current prices. Now as it stands, out of my 33 holdings overall, 30 of these are in the green, which represents about 91% of my overall holdings are currently in the green, with the exceptions being 3 funds or 3 stocks / ETFs, which we'll have a look at now. But again, that just poses great opportunities long term, and I know I say it time and time again, but it really does give you great opportunities to dollar cost average in at a cheaper overall cost if any of your stocks are in the red, especially if they're down over 5%. Now, if you've seen any of my prior videos, what I really like to do is group all of my allocations or sectors into different portfolio pies. I find it a lot more interesting, and it's a lot easier to follow in terms of how sectors are performing to different market conditions, etc. And it's also interesting to see how they kind of compare to each other. For example, we could have the likes of the communication services pie could go up 5% today, whereas consumer discretionary could go down 5%. So it's very interesting to see how different stocks react differently to different market conditions. Now we'll have a brief look through how each of these portfolio pies are performing at the moment, and seeing which shares or stocks I have in each of these sectors. Firstly, we have communication services. We have €631 invested here, and both stocks, Walt Disney and Facebook, are well in the green, both up between 27 to 31% respectively. Now again, we are up about 32% overall within this pie, and we only have the 2 holdings. Again, just a brief synopsis, out of all my other portfolio pies, I cap it at 5 stocks, so I don't want to have more than 5 within any holdings, and my overall portfolio, I don't want to have more than 35, so there's room for 2 more stocks / ETFs still, which we'll discuss later on in the video. We then have one of my bigger pies at the moment, nearly €1,600 invested here, or 1,580, is consumer discretionary. We have 3 holdings here, and are up just 1.25% overall. Now 2 of the 3 are in the green. McDonald's is up 10%, and we also have Nike up 1.1%. Now what's dragging this portfolio or this pie down is Tesla, which is currently down 8.65%. Now as mentioned earlier in the video, we deposited a further €100 here this week already, and this stock was down about 15 or 18% or so last week. So again, I'm very happy to see that jump back up about 10% or so. But again, next week, as I invest another €125, if this stock is still hovering around the 8% in the red mark, I'll certainly be buying more. Consumer staples, we have €1,277 invested, up 7.8%, 3 holdings here. Coca-Cola and PepsiCo are up between 9.8 and 12.5%, and P&G is up just over the 2% mark. And my smaller pies is the energy sector with just over €700 invested. 3 positions here as well. The 2 older school stocks, as always, are doing very well here in the form of ExxonMobil and Chevron, up 38.8 to 67.5% respectively. And again, as always, the iShares Global Clean Energy ETF is still in the red. It's about 9.5% at the moment. Now, this was down as low as 20% only about 2 weeks ago. So again, I'm happy, just like Tesla, even though it's still in the red, it's kind of coming back to parity as such. But again, there's always big news, and I'll probably make a video over the weekend on some updates on this ETF, as there has been some big news that will probably be of benefit and catalysts going forward for all clean energy in particular. But again, I'm kind of happy just to keep this ETF as is, and just like Tesla, etc., slowly drip feed capital in. Now, we did put €25 in here this week, which isn't a whole lot, but again, 2 or 3 shares every so often at current prices will definitely pay dividends long term. We then have the benchmark for my portfolio in the form of the 2 main global ETFs, in the form of the S&P 500, which is up 23.5%, and the FTSE 100, which is up over 21%, which gives us about 23% net return overall on this investment. And again, as previously stated, I do like to have about 10%, or at the moment about 8% of my overall portfolio invested in these 2 main ETFs. We then have my financial pie, which as always I'm very happy with at the moment. Again, this was all about luck and timing of when we got into all these positions, but we're about 37% here at the moment, and we have €1,184 invested. All 5 are currently in the green. The 2 worst performing, and again when I say worst, they're still up between 9 and 12.5%, is Visa and MasterCard. And then we have the 3 big ones here in the form of JP Morgan, Bank of America and Goldman Sachs, all up between 60 and 83%. Healthcare is up next with just over €900 invested, up 14.3%. And again, all 3 are in the green here, so I'm quite happy with this. Johnson & Johnson's up 13.7%, AbbVie is up 27.8%, and Pfizer is up nearly 7.5%. Just like the healthcare pie, industrials has 3 in the green here as well, but we have a bit less invested, just under €300 and up 26.7%. 3M is up 21.5%, Caterpillar is up over 52.5%, and Waste Management is currently up 23.3%. 2 stocks recommended by subscribers is in the materials pie, and both are doing very well, so thanks very much again, is Barrick Gold up 7.9% and First Majestic Silver up 12.5%, or 10.5% should I say, and overall up 9.3% here. I know you only have €81 invested at the moment, but that's mainly because they've done so well since investing that small amount of capital. So again, if they come back to parity or go into the red, I'll be sure to buy more. We then have my 3rd stock that's in the red in the form of High Tide. Now again, as mentioned by Irish Wealth, it's not a penny stock anymore, mainly due to the share consolidation or reverse split, the 15-to-1 split. So again, this was trading at about 50 cents a share prior to this, and it's now about $7 or $8 a share. So again, nothing really changed here in terms of how much you have invested. It's just there's less shares outstanding, hence your overall value is the exact same, just less shares outstanding. So again, we're currently on 13% here. Now, I mentioned in many videos, which are linked in the description below, why I'm going to be buying more of this stock, even though it's down 13%. I really do feel that this has strong fundamentals and catalysts. Again, we won't mention them in today's video because I have many videos that go into this in detail, all in the description below. We then have 1 holding in real estate in the form of Realty Income, which is a monthly dividend paying stock. We're currently up 14.2% and only have €67.5 invested at the moment here. But again, just like other stocks that I mentioned, if it does drop in value, I will certainly be buying more. But for now, I'm just happy to leave as is. And then finally, one of my biggest holdings or positions is in technology. Again, a lot of people have a lot of hope for tech going forward, and it's certainly one that I'm most interested in comparison to all other of my sectors. We're currently up 22% here and have just under €1,400 invested, and all 5 are doing fairly well at the moment. Microsoft is up just under 18%, Amazon up 3%, Apple is up just under the 11%, Alphabet is up 58%, and IBM is up 19.5%. So as mentioned at the start of this video, about 30 of the 33 are currently in the green, so I'm very happy with how that's going. 91% of the portfolio is in the green. So again, I'll leave the 30 stocks currently that are in the green alone for now. If anything changes next week, I'll be sure to take advantage of that. But I will be focusing on those 3 that are still in the red. Now, these 3 have been in the red for quite some time at the moment, but I am slowly trickle feeding capital in. So in the long term, hopefully all of this small dollar cost averaging will pay off on those 3 positions. And in terms of my plans going forward, as mentioned as well, once we hit the 10,000 mark on trading 2 on 2, again, we're only about €500 away at the moment. I will start to open up my Degiro broker as well and start having that as a second brokerage going forward. So I'm looking forward to that as well, and I'll be having updates on that portfolio as it happens also. And next week I'll be depositing or investing a further 125 of the 375 that's currently free into stocks, probably more than likely. Again, it will be the 3 that are in the red at the moment. Now I know that kind of seems boring as such, but again, that's what will make the money in the long term. Boring is probably good in long term investing. So again, that will be my plan next week also. So if you made it this far, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see y'all in the next one.